friend gave me this clock recently. It's an interesting beast. The approach is there's a problem that needs to be solved, and the problem is a child who wanders out of the room when it's still nighttime to see mum and dad. Isn't that nice? So the clock is brilliant. What it does is, originally anyway, as purchased, what it does is it glows a different color depending on whether it's nighttime or daytime, and you set that time. And then all the child needs to do is to say, okay, so it's still, I guess, orange or whatever the color is, and therefore it's still nighttime, so I'll roll over and get to sleep. So it's a training tool. But recently, I'm told, it stopped working. So he's given it to me to have a look to see if I can fix it. And the first thing that I saw, to my horror, is a micro USB port here. And I'm pretty sure that that's the culprit because coincidentally, just recently, I've had a lot of trouble with micro USB ports for things like ESP32s and the like. They're just not very good. I mean, the great scheme of things, the original USB-As were good. I like the mini USB, the micro USB not so much, and the new USB-C is good. And let's just hold it there, shall we not come up with any more iterations. But the problem apparently is that it doesn't charge anymore. And so what we'll do is we'll see if we can get a connection at least and see what's happening. So if I turn it on, nothing happens. So if it's, as I suspect, a problem with this cable, then, oh, and there we go. Can you see that on the camera? There's a red light. Yeah, oh, it's quite fleeting. It's a very bad connection. There it is. I don't know if you can see that, but there is a red light there. Just here indicating that it's charging. But it's actually, you have to jam it in quite a lot to get that to happen. So, yeah, as suspected, I think that is the problem. Oh, and we have life on the other side. This probably indicates low battery. Everything else seems to be working. I did look at the manual, and I'll post that link on the blog, and I did notice that the manual said that this is a low battery indicator, and it also said that you won't get any glowing of the dial because the child is too young to read the numbers and everything, but you won't get any glowing of the dial whilst the battery is low, which makes sense. Anyway, let's get this thing open and put it back together. I mean, the problem is, of course, if I can't put it back together, I guess I'm up for a new one. It's only fair, isn't it? But yeah, I'll get these screws out and we'll have a look and see what's inside. Let's see our screws all out. Let's see if this is easy or difficult. Oh, that's not too bad at all. Yeah, and what have we got? Oh, interesting. I wonder if I could pull that out. I'll just leave that for now. Probably end up pulling this off. You can see there's a connector there. Let me get a pointy device. So if we can focus in on this one. Oh, okay, so Mr. Blobby here. Who knows what? So there's our microcontroller. And then we've got a few other bits and pieces. Something that says key. There's our LED. There's a LiPo, 3.7 volt, and got some very dodgy, spodgy. Oh, look at that! It's just going to come straight out. Oh, that's awful. Yeah, it's just hot glued in there. And what else we got? It looks like some sort of SSOP chip there. Maybe it's very close to the speaker, so maybe an oscillator or something to give a buzzy sound. And then, yeah, off here to the LCD crystal there to supply the clock signal for this. I wonder what's underneath there. Look at all these connectors coming out here. It's doing the bulk of the work. And then, I don't know, it says, yeah, I guess that's to take care of the key presses, presumably on the other side, because that's where all the keys are. All right, so let's open this up a little bit further and see what is underneath. Well, initially I thought it was a bit silly with all the screws in there, but yeah, then you think, okay, so 3-year-old child, yeah, so it's sort of fair enough. So there they all are. There's a lot of them, and okay, so button on the back, and oh, okay, yep. So that's our reset. All right, so there's a reset button to clear all the memory. There's our troublemaker. Let me go and see if I can find a replacement. So we presumably we're just looking at power here, just VCC and ground. We know there's no data transfer there, so I'll just desolder that and see if we can't replace it with something with a little bit better reliability. Yeah, there's not too much you can do with them, I don't think. I mean, it's I'd like to replace it maybe with a not a micro, maybe a mini USB, because I find that they're a little bit more stable. They're the ones that are on the original Arduino, and you can still find them on Arduinos as well, even on the Nanos, because they're quite reliable. But anyway, yeah, let's get a board and see if we can't maybe tease this one off and put a new one on. So here's a couple of candidates. We do have the mini USB, which would be a lot more reliable, but I'm not sure that that's going to fit in there. I could maybe try and cut it down, but then I'd also have to cut the plastic at the back there. That would be quite a job. Probably have to snip all of that off. May end up doing that actually. But this is a little board that looks like it's pretty similar size and shape, maybe even a bit daintier than the original. Yeah, and just fiddling around with that original board. Let me see if I can find something. The little tongue in there, and it's probably not the technical term, but it is very loose. Look at that. It's just moving around. So that's what the broken part is. And that's why they're so bodgy, really. And this is quite strong. And if I line this up, it actually does fit in there pretty well. So I guess the plan is to just do like-for-like replacement. The only thing I'm worried about is putting this back in so that it fits on here, because this little board here is quite cut down. Let's see if I can get this up at a decent angle. Yeah, you can see it's quite cut down, whereas this is a full-size board. So I'm just not sure how that's going to work. But I'll desolder this, and then we'll have a think about how do we replace this on there. I mean, one of the options, actually, thinking about it, is don't desolder the whole board, just desolder this top bit. Actually, I think I've got some of these. Yeah, that would make more sense. If it's only the tongue in there that the problem is, these things do just desolder, and then I can put that straight on there. Let's do that. That's a better plan. Right. So just before I close it all up again and see if it works, this is the micro USB adapter that I ended up settling on for a couple of reasons. It's very strong compared to the old one, so I'm hoping that that will be provide a little bit of mechanical strength, which was missing in the old one. And also, I think I might hot glue all around here as well, because it's the mechanical strength is going to be the key to this one surviving, I think. The other thing which is interesting about this is it's only broken out VCC and ground. So it's not as fiddly as the other ones. And all I've really done to insert this in there, because it's a very short PCB, if you look from the end here, there's not a lot of space in there. So what I did was I just cut down on these pins, and then you can see that I've splodged a ground out to this ground pad here, which I think I'll also cover up with hot glue. And I've splodged a red wire out to VCC. And yeah, I think I might just cover the whole thing up with hot glue, put it back in again, and see if it works. These guys, I think, are very useful in this scenario. No data to be carried there, but a very strong-looking micro USB adapter, which is what is needed for this. Yeah, lots of hot glue and ready to go. Nice one. And just for fun, one of the wires has come loose from the LCD. So I'm just going to put that one back on as well. And hopefully it will work. That'd be nice. I've hot glued everything up underneath there and screwed in. I think I've lost a screw or two, or maybe there wasn't one to start with, but I seem to be one screw short, which a lot of people who know me will agree to. But anyway, yeah, let's get this LCD wire put back on, and then we're good. So I think in the end, a successful job swapping out the hideous micro USB for a new one. Hopefully it will mechanically hold. You can see a little bit of a blue tinge at the top there. I'll put some pictures up here of what the blue clock looks like nighttime and the orange clock looks like daytime. But I'm going to call that the circuit working for this week. See you next time, and stay in bed, kids.